What do I do? What do I do? Alright, welcome back everyone. My name's S.W.A.N. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and share. And today we are here with Chernobyl, or S.W.A.N, Chernobyl Unexplored. Game on Steam. It's supposed to be pretty good. It's supposed to be pretty scary. It's a horror game, psychological horror, I think. So yeah, let's just jump into this.
On the 26th of April, 1986, near the city of Pripyat in Ukraine, a disastrous catastrophe had taken place. The reactor Unit 4 of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant had broken down, which led to its explosion and subsequently to radioactive contamination of the vast area. In a short period of time, over 350,000 people were evacuated and resettled. A restricted zone was designated around this power plant, which extends to many kilometers. All buildings within this zone, including the surrounding city, were abandoned. At the beginning of February 1987, 9 months after the disaster, a team of scientists from the Moscow Institute of Physics and Technology, which measured radiation in this exclusion zone, received signals that proved the existence of people operating in this area. Also, various unexplained anomalies had been discovered, which could have resulted from a type of radiation previously unknown to scientists. It turned out that near the city of Pripyat, the Swan Institute was also located here. Its name comes from the abbreviation Syndrome Without a Name, the term given to the group of symptoms that do not occur in any known and catalogued disease. The facility was unofficially conducting a research program on unprecedented and very disturbing neurological and psychological disorders for many years. After the disaster, the institute was omitted during the evacuation operation because it was not included on any map. Only a few people from the USSR Ministry of Internal Affairs knew about its existence, but after the Chernobyl accident, they chose not to perform rescue operations on its territory. Scientists received details regarding the institute's scope of activity from an anonymous person. The facility was top secret and cut off from the rest of the world. People were sent there from all over the globe, and each medical case was unique in its own way. Because of the extraordinary abilities resulting from unexplored and undiagnosed diseases, patients were a threat to the environment. They were caged up and lived in strict isolation. This entire situation was kept secret from people outside the government, other than the few scientists who were made aware of the Institute's activities. Scientists from the Moscow Institute, experts from the General Nuclear Inspectorate of Ukraine, and the rescue staff decided to send a special research and rescue expedition immediately to clarify the source of the anomalies and to save people who might still be alive. The group was commanded by Alexei Tokovsky, a rescue specialist. After determining the exact coordinates of the facility, the group reached the place and got inside. However, all people were separated and lost contact with each other in unexplained circumstances.
How are they all separated? It's a pretty cool story so far.
To all the people whose life changed irreversibly after the events of April 1986 in Chernobyl.
Oh, okay. That's cool that they've got like a little this to them, you know? All right. Tab to open the journal. Items kept in the bag. I to open, close, pause game. Picked up. One to turn it on and off. Okay, so I've got the journal. Personal notes. The mission on the 10th of February 1987 at 8 a.m., the search and rescue expedition under my leadership consists of 7 people, including me. We are taking a helicopter flight to the Swan Institute. We intend to verify the data received from an anonymous informant. If the information is confirmed, we will have a scandal of Chernobyl's magnitude on our hands, or even a bigger one. Other nations will get interested in the issue soon, especially that since the nuclear reactor disaster, all eyes are on us. It is strange that, despite this, nobody else has found out about this facility's existence. I'm not intending on keeping it a secret, but for now, the priority is to rescue the poor souls who are most likely still on the Institute's premises. We have medication, rescue equipment, and highly trained people. Search and rescue mission expedition crew. Myself, Alexei Tarkovsky, rescue unit leader. Grigory Vasiliev, medical doctor. Natalie Abramovich, rescue unit member. Radimil Bogomazov, rescue unit member. Yegor Dubnin, rescue unit member. Vyacheslav Voronin, rescue unit member. And Petya Ostrovsky, rescue unit member. And I am very sorry if I butchered any of those names and you happen to have that name. But, you know, I apologize. I might turn this up a bit. It seems a little quiet. I mean, this is looking pretty good though right now. Let's see. Is this the way in? The door's jammed. Goodbye. Hey, that's me. What happened? It's dangerous here. They took my home away. I mean, do you think they actually left people? I assume, I mean, they had to evacuate the whole area of Chernobyl. I'm sure people got left behind, maybe. But couldn't they have just left? I mean, unless all of the, shift to sprint. Do I need a sprint? Door's jammed. So maybe, like, the people who are taking care of the place ran? Or were evacuated? I like the controls of this. I mean, it's a little wobbly, and that kind of gives it the charm, though. Since the incident, the telephone has been ringing less and less. I hope that Professor Kadanovsky knows what he's doing, especially now that the anomalies keep getting stronger and the patients are getting more detached by the day. I myself barely manage to cope mentally. Okay, so I think since I think the staff was still here, right? Oh my fucking shit! Holy hell, that got me. This is the last thing I expected to happen was an explosion like that. Oh man, all right, hopefully that didn't blow out anyone's eardrums. I'm gonna turn that down just a tiny bit. Yeah, that might have been a little too loud. Door's locked with a key. Apparently phones just explode here. I've left the detector in the locker for you. It will come in handy when that damnation appears again. Please remember to turn off all the lights when it's close by, and don't ruin it, please. I hope we'll meet again, alive. Okay. Interaction, need to interact. Okay. Equipment. K type an ionizing radiation detector. It detects radioactive pollutants that shows level. How do I use it? So one's to turn off the flashlight. Oh, maybe it'll just work when somebody's nearby. I'm sorry, did I hear something? Game saved. I'm so confused on the sound levels of this game. Because that's missing. Okay. To our revered comrade, K. Danovsky, with kindest regards. Dear Andre, our friend, we, your party comrades, would like to express our pride of your membership. Your input is valuable. You are one of the founding blocks of our ever-growing community. We are deeply convinced that your work will keep on strengthening both our friendship and the party's might. Thank you for your arrival at the official decoration ceremony. Please remember you can always count on us. Long live the Ukrainian Socialist Soviet Republic. Long live the USSR. Okay. I don't have a password, do I? Ah, but there's a tape. Safe's unavailable.
Her medical case was exciting and nightmarish at the same time. 1. I have no idea why, but this monotonous and seemingly funny melody made this woman appear from practically nowhere. 3. It is a contrast of sorts. How a completely innocent sound was a foretelling or an omen of the atrocity to come. 9. Horrifying beauty. 4.
So, hold on, what was it? 394? Shit. Maybe I need to read that again. Okay. So it's 1394. Welcome to the Swan Institute system. Loading files. Loaded K to Nosky. Okay. Notes. The Swan factor. I am convinced of the existence of the Swan factor. Since the beginning, I believed it is achievable and can obtain it. If that were not the case, this whole Project Institute equipment personnel, none of this would have existed. Everything comes down to one thing. There is one goal to it all. the discovery and extraction of a factor which makes each individual case unique among all medical cases collected here, and which displays its own abilities. The military is expecting results. As long as they're paying, the work will continue. The binding capsule is a remarkable device. It's just like the mind reader. Since the beginning, it was our most ambitious project, even though it was, and still is, created in an extremely difficult time for us. And it is not made to create, but to destroy. When it all got out of control, the damned incident started to cause all those sick events. We had to look for rescue. Who would have helped us? The party? The ministry? Fuck them. It's too late now, anyways. The thought of noting down the history of the beginning of the Institute has been coming to mind for quite some time now. The construction of the Swan Institute had begun at the beginning of the 1970s. The whole operation was oversaw by me, medical science professor Andrei Kaninovsky. I was also designated by the USSR ruling party as the director of this facility. The first meaningful decision for me to make was the location of the institute. It is not accidental. The facility is placed near the peaceful town of Pripyat, which was just being built. A nuclear power plant was under construction in the nearby Chernobyl at the time, which was supposed to provide clean atomic energy. I decided that the surrounding area would be well guarded and nobody would dare to bother the people in the facility. The institute is a high security facility surrounded by a tall wall and hidden in a forest. In 1973, the first patients arrived. In the following years, it kept on growing, and it was extended to accommodate more patients, with new wings and wards getting added. Okay. The safe. I open the safe. Shit. Okay. What do I do? What do I do? Is she gonna kill me? I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Am I supposed to hide from her? Shit. Can I turn this light off? Fuck, what do I do? Do I keep going? Oh, wait, hold on. Do you think I can walk by her with the lights off? Okay. Alright, not too bad. We made it past her. It was, very scary. But we did it. And that's all that matters, guys. The fuck is that thing? What the hell is any of this stuff? Welcome to the Swan Institute system. Loading files. Loaded. Control room. Binding something. Binding capsule management system. Calibration. Description. The mind reader system is one of the inventions coming from Professor Kavasky, the director of the Swan Institute. In recent years, the patient's visions have become so deep and vivid that they have begun to seep through to new parallel dimensions that run alongside our reality and imprint on them. Really? Okay. The need for understanding those visions and the essence of their evolution had pushed the Institute's personnel to construct a special device that would allow the users to travel to such dimensions. The Swan Institute engineering team, led by Professor blah blah. I'm just so bad at saying his name. K. Danovisky created a prototype of the mind reader device. It consists of two key elements. One binding capsule, innovative technology that was used to create a capsule and allow the connection between the device's body and the user's mind. Such a solution is also a security measure against the use of the mind reader by unauthorized individuals. After completing the procedure of the binding the user's mind with the mind reader, the user is able to see portals to other dimensions, created by the patients. They are shaped in the form of dark spheres. After entering the dimensions, the transition to Intermediary Room takes place and opens the pathway to the chosen dimension. 2. The mind reader, the core device. It is a device similar in size to a classic sidearm. It is activated at the point of entry to a spherical portal. The device is used to detect thoughts created by patients and hidden in parallel dimensions. After the discovering of the first dimensions, the engineering team conducted a prototype test of the mind reader. During the test, they found that the expansion of the dimensions can be stopped by destroying particles of thoughts which they contain. This is why the mind reader was upgraded with the thought obliteration function. Okay. Calibration. There is a gnat just flying around this room I'm in, and it is quite annoying. I'm just going right in, aren't I?
For some time now, the dimensions have been increasing. It is time to end this. Luckily, we were able to finish the mind reader prototype. Connecting it to a human brain was troublesome at first, but the procedure gives expected results, and the device can be used after entering the intermediary room. Something incredible was achieved here. Something gargantuan. First there was Gagarin, and the first man travels into space. And now we are also multidimensional travelers. If only the world could hear about this.
Yeah, okay. I'm sorry. It says run. I feel like this hallway didn't exist before. Do not follow this path. Chief Nurse's Room, Ward 1. Control Room. Case description and observations. Patients with numerous first and second degree burns on the whole body, but not displaying any damage to the neurological system. A lightning attractor particle was discovered in the patient's body, causing her to get hit by lightning several times per day. Lichtenberg figures colored brown and bluish red form on her whole body. The patient possesses a special ability of summoning ball lightning that follows her steps. Okay, so she's lightning, she's storm. Got a key. Now, why did she have that? The door's jammed. I'm sorry, that opened? I'm sorry, didn't this say nurse's station? Chief nurse's room. Doesn't look like it turned out good for the chief nurse. January 1987. It is getting worse. All employees are living in fear. We do not have control over anything anymore. Patients used to get locked up for safety behind armed doors, but it is us who have to stay behind them now. This whole ward was a joke from the beginning. Human conditions and good care have never existed here. Those people's diseases made us see them as wild animals, and now everything turned against us. The worst thing is there's no escape out of here, and the hunt has already begun. Well, you should have treated them better. Oh, no. No. Jeez, that got me. Oh, brick. Turn off the torch. Jeez. It's fine. Now I can go in Ward 1. I should leave, right? Like, is somebody floating? Game saved. That person headless? They're kind of, yeah. Oh no, they're not headless. They're just being back. Excuse me. Excuse me. Are you okay? It's probably not okay. Okay, so she didn't actually murder me. Okay, well, that looks like another dimension. The hell is that, man? Who are you?
I am an entity born from experiments that had been taking place in this institute. Those who had witnessed my creation called me the Swan phenomenon. I developed my own consciousness, and I exist trapped between reality and abstract space-time.
What experiments were those? Why were they undertaken?
I was never a regular person, even though I vividly remember the time when I lived free as a human. My condition was incredibly difficult, and no medical doctor could help me.
The symptoms increased to such a point, I was becoming a danger to myself and my surroundings. I then got rejected by my family and persecuted by various people. They tried to kill me. One day, I received a message from a professor who said he was familiar with my case and thought he could try to help me. He claimed to be the founder and director of a specialist facility for people with rare, unknown, and dangerous ailments. I was supposed to be put to various tests and undertake experimental treatment methods.
The professor, was that Kaidanovsky?
Yes, Professor Andrei Kaidanovsky. I saw you getting into his office. Even his notes speak of what despicable man he is. Departure for the Institute was a blessing to me, an escape from a life full of suffering and becoming sicker by the day. Only here was I given a glimpse of hope, a slight shadow of a chance for a cure. For the first time, someone had reached out a helping hand. When I met Kaidanovsky, he was extremely kind-hearted, promising his full involvement in my conditions research and attempts to bring me back to full health.
What was next?
Everything changed when the research has started. I very quickly realized that something else was the main objective here, but it was too late to back out. People like me got locked up in here and were kept by force. They were used for research on obtaining and isolating the so-called Swan factor for the Soviet Army's needs, apparently. It is a factor present in anybody infected with the Swan-type disease. It makes them unique and grants special abilities, not necessarily good ones. According to the professor, due to the incredible power of my symptoms, I was a great potential source. At the same time, the level of complexity of my illness was extremely high. Experimental methods used by Kaidanovsky did nothing. It frustrated him greatly, triggered some inhuman instincts, even drove him mad. He'd work on my case for hours. I was not indifferent to that. I was suffering and feeling inhuman pain.
What happened to you then?
Thanks to the power of all the devices constructed especially for me, the factor had finally left my body by itself. It divided into two separate entities, light and shadow. I am the shadow entity. You could say that the original me died. However, my consciousness keeps on living in those two elements separated by the factor.
Where's the light part?
At this moment, I have to warn you. The portal you've located, thanks to the Mind Reader, did not appear for no reason. Mind Reader was created in this institute to find those portals and destroy the dimensions they lead to. But for the portal to form and the creator to be able to walk through it, something terrifying is required. If you have special abilities, it is possible to possess a person's life essence through murder and modify space-time to a point. The existence of each portal means somebody's death.
Okay, did this guy murder someone? Keep talking.
Portal's creation destabilizes your human reality. Changes happening in parallel dimensions are starting to have a destructive impact on this world. This is why they have to be destroyed as soon as possible. It is not possible to determine what can happen exactly, but any disturbance to the space-time continuum structure may have terrifying consequences for the whole mankind.
So we're gonna kill all these other dimensions, or just the portals? Do you suspect the portals are created by the light part of the phenomenon?
It is not to be excluded. After my incident, various tragedies started happening in the Institute. Someone, or something, started to wreak havoc in here. Chaos took away many lives, and new portals were created. It is a lie that the patients did this, although it is most likely what you will read in the staff's notes. I believe it is something much more powerful, some unknown force. This is why the Institute's personnel was trying to fight it so frantically, constructing the mind reader in the process.
Oh, okay. You know what exactly happened to my unit? Where are my people? Are they alive?
You shall find out in due time, as I'm sure we'll meet again. In a moment, you will enter the so-called Intermediary Room. It is a place between the human world and the extra-dimensional one. That's where you get to the memory wasteland, one of the parallel dimensions. That's where the dimension's creators' thoughts are stored and form the foundation for the dimension's existence. When you destroy them, you return to the Institute, and the dimension ceases to exist. Maybe you'll find more portals when you explore the corridors. Remember, each of them means somebody's death.
Intermediary room. I assume this is where I'm at. Well, I think I'm gonna have to pause it there. I think we'll pick this up next time, as in tomorrow. I'll finish that up. So thank you all so much for watching. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. This game's really cool. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share. I'll leave a link for this in the description below. I'm really liking this game. There's a lot more than I thought there was going to be. So yeah, if you want to play this for yourself, check it out. And as always, have a wonderful day.